Wanted to talk about the German doctors and the scientists.
Yeah.
Now, after you won your first indictments against them, I believe you commented that the court had the responsibility to set forth with clarity the ideas and motives that moved these defendants to do these horrible things.
Yeah.
Could you comment on that? What were these people's motives to do?
Well, that was the educational side of it, you know. It's, of course, important to bring out the terrible things that those guys did. But here were quite a varied bunch of doctors, including some who were very reputable. And yet they had gotten involved in these experiments, and it was plain that in a way they had been infected by a more general corruption of the whole level of society in Germany under Hitler.
Yes.
And that was what I was getting at, that for the Germans themselves to understand the meaning of all this, we ought not to just stop at proving what they did, but make some effort to explore how could such things come to pass.
Yes.
Now, I don't think we were altogether successful in that, but we did find one German doctor who had stood up pretty well against the Nazis during the war, and who was willing to testify something about the structure of German medicine, the Medical Association rules, and what had happened when Hitler came in, which was quite enlightening. The blunt fact was that what you might call the pride, the professional pride of German medicine collapsed very quickly. It was the same with lawyers.
Yes.
I mean, within a few months after Hitler came in, those associations were ordered by Hitler to get rid of all the Jews. Well, what was a doctor of humane feelings and not motivated by racial prejudice going to do?
Yes.
Was he going to try to live up to his feelings about medicine as a learned profession, or was he going to yield to the political pressures? Well, both in medicine and law, the yielding came pretty rapidly.
Yes. Did you find yourself sometimes in sympathy with the plight of these people, in that they said there was nothing we could really do? Hitler was in power. If we didn't follow what he was dictating, we would have been shot ourselves.
Well, to some extent, but very often what really developed was that some of them were quite willing to go along. Others found that their own fortunes, it was not just a matter of staying out of jail. Now, you take Eichmann.
Yes.
He was an electrician in Vienna, person of no consequence. He joins the SS. He becomes an officer and a gentleman.
Yes.
In the public mind. A man who has risen that way by joining in with the powers that be is corrupted very fast into thinking that what he's doing is right. I mean, if Hitler says it's right, well, it must be right, even though 10 years ago he would have thought it horrible.
Yes.
Human standards change so fast.
Yes.
So that in many cases I didn't feel much sympathy, but one thing I was always thinking in my own mind was, well, this is terrible, and those guys didn't stand up very well, but I wonder what I would have done had I been in their shoes.
Yes.
Now, I was never tested that way, not that way.
Yes.
And I think anybody who surveys the German scene under Hitler must turn it in on himself a little bit and wonder how he would have behaved under similar circumstances.